The outdoor track season is officially underway, and the one woman whom every sprinting fan is waiting to see has to be Sha'Carri Richardson. The last time we saw her on the track was at the Diamond League final, where she ran the 100-meter dash but did not necessarily give the best performance. But to be real with you, nobody really cares that much about it, because she was also in the Olympic final and came away with the silver medal. The only thing is, she was the reigning world champion heading into that event, but depending on who you ask, the gold medal was supposed to be hers. And that is why we actually go out there and run the races. But like I just said, we haven't seen Sha'Carri compete at all in 2025. And I totally understand that this is supposed to be a very long season, with the World Championships in September. And Sha'Carri famously doesn't run indoors. She hasn't done it since she left college all the way back in 2019. But that doesn't necessarily explain enough, at least the reality of why she's not on the track. Because you have to compare her to literally every other world-class woman that we have in the game right now. Just keep in mind, both Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce and Shericka Jackson have opened up their seasons up until this point. Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce did it in the 100. She went 10.9 seconds, wind assisted. But she normally doesn't open this early in the season, certainly not over the past few years. And Shericka Jackson was injured heading into the Olympic Games. We didn't get to see her on the track, even though she was my favorite, at least if healthy, to definitely win the 200 and do a whole lot of damage in the 100. She has run multiple races already this year, between the 60 outdoors, the 300 outdoors, and even a 4x1, even if she ran that race essentially by herself. But the fact still remains that neither of those two Jamaican women were in the Paris final for the 100, while Sha'Carri Richardson actually was. But if you just look at everyone else in that field, I mean, when I say everybody, I mean basically everybody, they have all put down times already this season. Remember, when I say we haven't seen Sha'Carri Richardson, I mean we literally haven't seen her compete on a track. She was speculated to compete at the Miramar Invitational, and then that didn't happen. I mean, granted, it was speculation. She even told us herself that, hey, these are lies, and put it out on an Instagram post. But fundamentally speaking, we don't know when we're going to see Sha'Carri Richardson, at least not yet, between now and the Prefontaine Classic. And to clarify, that is all the way in the month of July. I'm assuming she's going to end up on the Diamond League in the not too distant future. She's not signed up to run anything with Grand Slam track, and I'm not expecting it to happen anytime soon. But the real question on the table, whenever Sha'Carri Richardson's name is mentioned, at least when I'm talking about her, is gold medal or bust. I mean, let's be real about it. That is the expectation. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Once you win a world championship one time, you only gotta do it once, in the 100-meter dash, you will always be looked at as a threat from that point on. Not even just a threat, but for the most part, a favorite. Sha'Carri Richardson runs faster than almost anybody else in the game right now. If we're talking about her personal best, like, people just can't go that fast when they are in top gear and running at peak performance. And aside from that, we've really got to get honest about what we've seen from Sha'Carri in the years prior. Because from the time she left college, think Olympic Trials 2021, she wins USAs and doesn't get to go to the games, but she won USA so emphatically, it was clear that if we were getting the medal that year, it was going to come from that woman. Move on forward from that. By the time you get to 2023, she becomes the world champion. And in 2024, by all estimations, she was the favorite going into that meet. The only woman on the planet who had a chance of beating her, at least from the women who actually showed up in the final, was going to be Julian Alfred. That's it. Julian Alfred ran basically her best race of her life. Sha'Carri Richardson underachieved, and that's how she got a silver medal. just being honest. And to clarify, if you are pressing me about it, I am a Julian Alfred fan. I try to be pretty open about that on this channel, but I'm also going to be as real as I can about it. Sha'Carri Richardson at her best, like running the times that only she can run. Well, the math adds up to her getting a gold medal. Just saying. Consider that her training partners have already opened up their seasons. Melissa Jefferson swept the 100 and the 200 for the short sprints at the first Grand Slam track meet in Jamaica. And Twanisha Terry also opened up at the Tom Jones Memorial. Both of them were in the Olympic final, along with Daryl Nita of Great Britain, who also is signed to run for Grand Slam and has competed in that league already this season. Tia Clayton and Mujinga Kambunji opened up their seasons indoors. Kambunji ran all the way through to the World Indoor Championship meet. And of course, Julian Alfred has been running this season. She only gave us one indoor race, and that was in a 300. And outdoors, she has already made her presence felt by setting a brand new world lead in the 200, going 21.88 seconds. There is literally only one woman from the Paris final who has not opened up her season yet who's not named Sha'Carri Richardson. That would be Marie-Josée Ta-Lou-Smith. And in her case, she got hurt in that final and still came back to run in the Diamond League final and later in Atlos. So it still hasn't been as much time since we've seen her on the track compared to Sha'Carri Richardson. I definitely don't have all the answers about what's next for Sha'Carri. All I can do is speculate. That said, I have a decent idea of what the landscape is, because she is in a very unique pocket in the sport right now. Because up until this year, although Grand Slam track is trying to change it, the professional track and field landscape isn't really a thing. It's an amateur pro landscape, where the World Championships, or to a larger degree the Olympics, is the pinnacle of the sport. Everything else is just a scrimmage. You can go run on the Diamond League. You can go run on the Continental Tour. It might even be Continental Tour Gold, but it doesn't really matter. All of these races, whether it's Tom Jones, which definitely ain't paying anybody, which, because it's like essentially a college meet, like all of this, they're just scrimmages. They don't mean anything. The only thing that does is that you put down a seed time that gets you into your national championship. And in Sha'Carri's case, that's the USA's, which for the most part, she dominates whenever she shows up. Just saying. And after that, you prepare to take care of business on the world stage. And if you can do it, nothing else actually matters. Because once you climb all the way to the top of the mountain, you are going to be rewarded financially. And Sha'Carri Richardson, above all other athletes, perhaps in all the events in track and field, is one of those people who has been rewarded. She really don't need none of the money that they're paying her on the Diamond League or the Continental Tour, although I'm sure she'll appreciate it. What that means is she just runs when she needs to. When I say needs to, I just mean needs to for her training, like the schedule that she sees to prepare her for the moment. Everybody else has their plans, and all of her competitors have decided that they're going to hit the track before this moment on the calendar. Sha'Carri Richardson just isn't one of them, and now it is abundantly clear that she is betting on herself, because now that she is on a very different plan than anybody else in the world, I'm expecting to get very different results from anybody else in the world. And the only acceptable result when your name is Sha'Carri Richardson and you're running the 100 is first place. And we're talking about a gold medal specifically when the entire world is watching. I continue to say this because I believe it to be true, that the lanes on a track do not discriminate. They don't care who you are, what nation you run for, or in this case, they could care less when you decide to start your season. The only thing that they do care about is who gets to the line first when the gun goes off. And Sha'Carri Richardson is clearly betting that the plan that she's on right now is the same one that's going to get her all the way to the gold. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your Fast is a Lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.